Okay, so here is an example of when you submit an offer to one of our sellers for one of our listings. When we receive an offer, we always have to present the offer to the owner, and usually this is kind of like the structure that we follow. Obviously, good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. or Mrs. whoever. We're excited to announce we received our first offer or another offer. Please find the offer summary below along with the documentation attached. So the offer summary, very important. We like to include the price, the escrow deposit, the acceptance date, the closing date, the loan approval period, the title commitment, the inspection period, and any additional terms that are added to the contract. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and show you where you would find all of these details in the contract. So you're gonna go ahead and open up the contract. Well, in these emails, you obviously need to attach the offer, which is the contract along with any addendums. And then sometimes we like to include the pre-approval letter if it's received, so that they know that the buyer is pre-approved. So we're gonna go ahead over here. So the first thing that we're gonna put in that offer summary is the purchase price, the offer price, which is this price right here. Then this is the escrow deposits. Um, Also, there's another additional deposit, which if there is an additional deposit, we usually like to include that as well. I don't think I did, but that was my mistake because there's usually no additional deposit. That's not very normal. Now, we don't usually include this information. We put the what date the contract is supposed to be accepted by, even though that could always be changed and edited on the contract in case the owner might take a few more days. Um, the closing dates, which in this case they put on or before. It's whatever verbiage is on here. Um, we go ahead and also put the loan approval period right here, loan approval period. And in this case, it was 21 days. Um, then we go down the title commitment, which is 15 days. Um, we also include the inspection period, very important, which in this case was 1 day. And that's pretty much it for the offer summary, unless there's some type of additional terms. And in this case, there was, which is seller agrees to pay and close any open permits. Well, in that case, this is something that is added to every contract. Every realtor normally does this. So these additional terms aren't necessary, but if there's any other additional terms, like seller agrees to give 2% of the purchase price to the buyer as um close for closing costs, or yeah, any other additional term other than this type of additional term, which is that the seller agrees to pay and close any open permits or liens on the property prior to closing. That's very generic. That usually is always included, but if there's any other additional term, we usually like to include that as well. Um, I did put here additional terms, this, because if we go ahead and open up the addendum, that's what it says. So that is one of the additional terms. She could have just put this in that area where it says additional terms instead of putting it in an addendum. But in this case, that's the way that the realtor did it, which is fine. Um, and yeah, that's basically how we like to structure it. We like to bold and underline um, this part, which is like the heading, I guess, and then we like to bold the actual amount or the actual information instead of just, you know, the subject of what the information is about. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. Let me double check really quick. Yeah, that's it. So that's it on the offer. Sometimes as well, um, well, actually, no. We would also need to, um, sometimes we would do an offer summary when we would present the new contract email to all parties, but in this case, he already is working with a TC with the transaction coordinator, which handles offer. So I'm not gonna go over that. And yeah, that's basically it.